Hey, fellow gamers, I'm back, and this is going to be part two of why I chose to play on UOAlive to itch that nostalgia for Ultima Online. And put a lot of thought into what I was kind of thinking I was going to do on this video for part two, because it's got to be super important. And I got to say, one of the best things I think that's going to keep me here for as long as the server's around is going to be the ability to not only 7 times GM your character, but you get what's called free skills. These skills, just to show you guys, I do have my character built out here. What is going on? So I've got, my core skills here, they're all locked up. But on top of that, they allow you to get 100 in all of these skills as well. So you're looking at arms lore, begging, bowcraft and fletching, camping, cartography, cooking, detecting hidden, fishing, forensic eval, herding, hiding, which is probably realistically one of the most awesome things you can get for free because hiding is great. Item identification, lock picking, lumberjacking, mining, remove trap, taste ID, and tracking. So what this really does is on a lot of other UO accounts you're going to be playing, you're going to have 3 or 4 or 5 different characters set out to do these individual tasks, such as you have to have a treasure mapper, you have to have a gatherer for resources such as lumberjacking, mining, that kind of stuff. You've got to have someone that's going to go out there and do your forensic eval, your item ID, lock picking. All that stuff is going to create several characters. Now, you're more than welcome to create as many characters as you want. Here as well, you've got 3 accounts, and you can fill those accounts up with characters. You can have all of them that the servers will allow you to create. But the need for them isn't there to where you have to try to juggle back and forth with what characters that you're going to be playing. So, what I wanted to go over as well is how to maximize these quickly and the locations to do so. So obviously arms lore is going to be clicking arms lore on any weapon you might have in your pack. You can macro that very easily to raise that incredibly fast. Begging, I actually don't really know what begging does. I've tried it on a few NPCs in Britannia, and I don't know, it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, but I still want to get to 100 anyways. Bowcraft and fletching is huge. If you'll look on the actual market, because arrows are, I guess you could call them like a commodity, I guess. When people sell them, for some reason, well, I can assure you that they're priced very, very high. Like you're talking like 10,000 gold for 500 arrows, which I think is pretty crazy. So I prefer to make my own. Now, granted, down the road, if you're rolling in the dough and you're doing champ spawns left and right and you don't really care, don't have the time to either make your own or do the shuffle around towns to find them, at that point I guess just spend it on it. But bowcraft and fletching will help a tremendous amount. Camping is awesome. Cartography is huge. Cartography, lock picking, and remove trap can all be on my main character as a free skill. So that turns my main character into a treasure hunter right off the bat, which is phenomenal because that's one of the main things that I enjoy doing is cartography treasure mapping. I think it's extremely fun. I love, the random loot. I love the monsters, all that kind of stuff that comes with it, and the whole finding the location. So it's huge to me specifically that you can do treasure mapping on your main character. It also makes it a lot easier. You're not having to dual box accounts to have one guy there that's capable of killing the monsters and one guy that's just working on lock picking and that kind of stuff. I can do all of it on one character. Makes it really fun. So I definitely consider that to be a massive quality of life right there. Detecting hidden, I don't think it's as useful, obviously, on a PvE server as it would be on like PvP. But obviously it is still available. Fishing is extremely fun. I've only got it at 75 because I don't currently have a boat. So I will be going out on a boat and doing the rest of my fishing as soon as that's something that's available to me. Forensic eval, herding, both of those are just additional skills that you can use. Hiding, I think hiding, if not number one, a close number two for the most important free skill you can get. Most templates out there are going to show hiding in it just for survivability in a lot of situations, such as dragons or whatever it may be that you're going. Hiding is going to be something that you can actually train up here with absolutely zero cost towards your main 700 skills. So hiding is awesome, probably at least number one or two on the most important ones. Item ID, pretty cool. Lock picking obviously goes along with treasure hunting. Very impressive that you can have that on here as well. Lumberjacking, it doesn't add anything as far as like swing damage or anything, but at 100 it will lower the mana cost of your special moves. So for example, my special move on this arrow or this bow is armor ignore and moving shot. When I get this up to 100, it will actually lower the mana cost on those special moves. Mining, I haven't mined yet. Remove trap, that's important obviously for the treasure maps, but it's also important for any of these dungeons that you go into. People just really walk by the chests, typically because you don't have a character that's capable of unlocking them, removing the trap, and just scooping the loot. So you will have the option to do that with this character, or with the setup here, with it being a free skill. And I will actually take you to the location later on in this video of where you can actually macro that skill to get it up quickly. Taste ID is fun. If you're going to use poisoning on your character, having Taste ID as an actual free skill means that's just one more skill that you don't have to have on your core 7. And of course, tracking. So first off, let's just go ahead and we will head over to the UOA Center. Show you guys where you can get a lot of these trained. So in here, you're going to have a whole room of both lock picking. You just have to double click this and it'll reset itself to your skill level. So if your skill level is 20, it'll reset it to where you're gaining skills at 20. One thing to keep in mind is don't do that at 20 and go to sleep, because it will literally never go above what it is until you re-click on it. So get it as high as you can before you decide to go watch Netflix or whatever it may be, waiting for it to go up, because again, it will only stay at the level that you double clicked on initially. So there's lock picking, and over here you've got your really cool little training kits for the traps. There is a script on the Discord to make this work. It just takes a little longer because, as you can see, the traps, let me show you what these things do. It pulls up like a little game. So yep, see, I already failed it. So the script itself will actually run through those as well. I'm thinking, I think it's random anyways, because you still do fail. Yeah, but anyways, it does it a lot faster than human can. And every once in a while you'll get a success on it, and it'll raise the skill point. It does take a little longer than the average skill does to accomplish that. Also in here, obviously, you see your tons of dye tubs. You got all of your rune books, and this leads you directly to the champ spawns. And not only does it lead you directly to the champ spawns, this little guy will tell you which ones are ready, which ones are on cooldown, and which ones are active. So if it was to say active next to, let's say, Lands of the Lich, that would mean that that champ spawn has already been activated. We just go over here and we go to Lich, and at that point we would just have to figure out our way to the actual the core of the battle at that point. But this thing is really cool, and you've got some other portals here, like this one will take you to different towns, and I believe the small one takes you to different dungeons. But they're just typing in a certain thing. You can actually hear, if you got the volume up, you can hear people in their lock picking right now. In here you've got your repair benches. Repair benches are awesome, obviously, especially ones that you can use right at a community center. And you've got kind of different assorted people out here that. So that's how to get your stuff for your treasure hunting done really, really quick. And I'm going to show you where to go to finish off the... Head over here to the docks real quick. And once here, you just find the map maker. You'll buy up all of his scrolls. He's got 320 of them. You'll buy a couple map maker's pins. You probably need about 15, I would say. And then you just continuously make whatever map is in range of you to get skill ups. Once you hit like 40 or 50, you can go straight to making world maps, and you can make world maps all the way up to 99.5. And then at that point, you'll have to take additional maps that you find in the wild to code to get that additional 0.5 points. And that is how you make a treasure hunter. So a few other skills here that were really easy to do, kind of like an overnight thing, or just kind of doing it while you're doing something else. Camping. I did camping while I was doing my bowcraft, fletching, and lumberjacking, because you can turn the wood that you get into kindle with bowcraft and fletching, and then use that kindle to make campfires. So there's a 3 for right there. You'll get all of these up very quickly. Based on that alone. Obviously camping went up a little faster than the other ones. Detecting hidden, you can do that anywhere. You can do it in your house overnight or whatever else it is. Forensic eval, you really don't need to do this on a corpse. You can do this on a corpse until 40, I believe, or 41 skill, and then you just have to go right back to your house and macro it out on one of the paragon chests. It'll make it all the way to 100 on a paragon chest. Herding, you literally just go out in the wild, and you have to have a herding crook, and you'll just tell something to move around. Ice wolves will get you to 100. If you are finding it difficult to find mobs that you can get to 100 on, ice wolves are the go-to there. Hiding is obvious. Item ID, very easy. Item ID stuff over and over again. Remove trap, like I said. Mining, taste ID, and tracking. Tracking is useful, way more useful if you're having to deal with PKs, but on here you do not have to deal with that, so it is awesome not to have to deal with a good trade-off. But tracking also works for if you are going into one of those champ spawns. You just click on tracking, and you can either track the numerous amounts of people, typically they're going to be all in one area, or you can actually just track the champ himself if you're wanting to get in there, do enough damage to get the rewards. So that is a massive quality of life thing that I absolutely love about the server. A couple other things is I was actually talking to a guildie of mine, and he was mentioning things like the big blue beetle that people can ride around on, that they don't really understand the importance of that, especially if you're a crafter. But not only a crafter, if you're just a warrior, you're able to ride on it as a mount and use it as well to carry additional gold or items out of a dungeon to make sure that your dungeon run goes from, 20 to 30k gold to, it can go up to, whatever the beetle can carry. So doubling or tripling your time spent in the dungeon getting gold and allowing you to bring back way more of it at a time. So it's really important if you've spent 30 minutes getting somewhere into a dungeon to where you feel comfortable and the gold's there and everything else, then you have to leave 5 minutes later because you're full of gold, and that turns into another 30-minute dungeon run. None of that is good at all. So let's see here. This is a trick that I learned kind of on accident. So I'm an archer, ABC archer, and I was having the hardest time finding arrows, and I was burning through them so fast that I was kind of getting annoyed having to go kill the harpies. So I went here, and this guy sells 15 arrows. Hoorah, yay. But if you immediately click on him again after you buy his 15 arrows, boom, he's at 250. And if you buy these 250, and you click on him again, boom, he's back at 250. So that's a great way to get arrows, because the arrows that we just bought, someone wanted to charge 10K for. We just got it for about 2,500. So that's a massive, massive savings. That well, you know, if you're an archer, if you're not an archer, it doesn't save you anything because you don't use arrows. But yeah, that has saved me a tremendous amount over the time. Never done the casino. I'm not really a gambler, you know, outside of the game. I can't imagine it being something that I would get into in the game. However, I mean, I have seen in the chat logs and stuff that people have won quite a bit. So this is cool too, guys. This is a little metal chest that will actually give you points for discarding things. Like, let's say I've got this recall rune for my old home. So this guy is going to actually give me points with the things that I put in there. Let's see if I can get something out of the bank that's worth some. I don't think that was worth anything. Let's go ahead and do... We'll just do this bow. What is this bow? Gargoyle Slayer? Yeah. Throw this bow in here. And it gave me 13 points and says, thank you for cleaning up Britannia. Your total now is 20,097.6 points. So instead of just chunking things on the ground and you know, all that kind of stuff, there's litters up all over the bank. The point of this is to make sure that you can actually get some credit. I guess you would consider it recycling on the game. So phenomenal way to keep the streets of Britannia clean. Also get some juicy stuff out of it too. So. And the last thing I'm going to show before I cut this one is going to be the coin exchange. This is an extremely cool little area. Let's see here. Magical stone exchange. I'm sorry, coin exchange. So here you're going to see everything from gold to sovereign change. So 1,000,000 gold will get you 1,000 sovereign notes. And the sovereigns are used to, let's say we want to buy a mount. Well, for 175 sovereigns, you can get an ethereal llama. Okay, so roughly that equates to about 175,000 gold. You could have a clicky ethereal llama in your mount, bonded for you forever. So I feel like that's a pretty good deal, considering horses are like a K or whatever. And then of course you can go through and pick prettier ones and charge more or whatever else. I tame my own mounts. Decorations, huge hit here. I know a lot of people come and decorate their homes with this kind of stuff. But a lot, like you could scroll. So there's a ton of stuff in here that you can get, from puppies to kitchen stoves, all kinds of stuff. So definitely check this out if you get on here and you're looking to decorate your home. Consumables. These are more like, okay, so I bought one of these, the Power Scroll book. It allows you to put all of the power scrolls you get from champ spawns directly into this book and keep track of them. That's pretty awesome. You've got pet bonding deeds, which will instantly bond a pet to your character instead of having to wait the 7 days in the stables and feeding it and stuff. Clothing blessed. Alacrity, the Transcendence. Those two are just additional books. Commodity deed box. Got a whole bunch of stuff here that you can actually utilize. Chest of Sending is cool because you can send items from your house to the bank. So unfortunately the other one I believe has charges. I'd have to see if this one has charges. I'm not 100%. So it does have charges, but it says auto recharge. So I'd have to look into that one and see if it auto recharges or if it like costs more sovereigns to do. It is really nice though to be able to deposit gold at your house and not have to go to the bank every single time. That might be something that I look in. I see storage boxes, all kinds of stuff. Then over here you've got pet dye tester kits to where you can actually only spend a low amount, like 7 sovereigns, see what color it would look like on your pet. So we'll buy this one and lasts for 30 seconds. So let's just say that I wanted to see what rare pet dye would look like with white. Looks white. That definitely worked. Should work for 30 seconds and then he goes back to normal. But that way, whenever you go in here and you see that, okay, so that one costs 500, you'd probably want to know what it looked like before you spent 500, so it gives you the ability to. It would be really cool if they were free. I feel like that would make sense to me if they were free. Just so people could see what it would be like. I mean, it's not like they're getting it anyways. But 7 is basically free, so I feel like that's a really good idea. And of course, you've got your dye tubs. The coveted black dye tub. Of course, furniture, leather, statuette, dye tub, all that good stuff. And don't forget, if you don't want to use your own stuff to do that, it's all at the community center. Almost all of it's at the community center. So when you come in here, if you don't want to have to buy your own, or you're just getting started, you will buy your own eventually, but you don't want to yet, you've got a whole row of them right here, all the way to the black dye tub. All of them. And it shows you the. So yeah, you've definitely got options that you don't have to go out of your way to spend the money. So yeah, guys, I mean, these are another couple of the quality of life things that I absolutely love that have kept me playing on UOAlive. This is going to be part 2. I do have a part 3 and 4 coming. I've got them planned and written out, so there's a lot more. There's a lot more great things that keep players playing on this server. Certainly have kept me playing, so I'm looking forward to doing the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share the video. Any one of your friends that might be playing Ultima Online, or shoot, if you're looking to get back into it and you have a couple of friends that might even give it a shot, we would love to have you on the server. I know I would, because the more players that are hanging around, more people that are going to meet me over at the champ spawns and help me and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of a late night player myself, so there are a couple of times and you only see 3 or 4 people at a champ spawn, and the difference in 3 or 4 and 8 is huge when it comes down to getting that bad guy down. So but that's it for me. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys in the next video.